Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube. So today I have a very special video for all of you. This video is definitely different than most of my hair videos, as you can tell from the title. So this video is basically about my Ancestry DNA results. So if you're interested in knowing my results, keep on watching. And before I get into the results, I want to share with you guys a little bit about my family history as well as what I thought my results would be. So both of my parents are actually from Dominican Republic, and my father is from a part of Dominican Republic that's called La Romana. My mother is from a part called Barahona. And basically I understand a little bit about the ancestry of Dominican Republic. I know there were African, Spaniard, and the Taino Indians, which is the indigenous population there. So I knew that already going before the actual DNA results and everything like that. So I had suspicions that I would possibly have concentrations of each. So I actually spoke to both of my parents before I even got my results, because you're allowed to do a trial of the family tree and kind of compose your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and everything like that. So my mom definitely said that there would be Spaniard, the Taino, and the African, of course, and as well as in my father's side. But my father also mentioned that his mother was actually possibly from England, which I thought was very, very interesting. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that, because I never met my grandparents from my father's side. So I thought that was going to be very interesting in seeing my results from that. And you know, with all that being said, I kind of want to give you guys an idea of how the actual kit works after you purchase it and things like that. So if you go to Ancestry DNA, you purchase your kit. I actually purchased it when it was on sale. So they had a sale for Black Friday. Sometimes they do that. So I got it for $69. Normally it's $99. So if you wait, sometimes like towards certain holidays, sometimes they have sales. So you'll get lucky and get a discounted price for it, which I was lucky enough to have. And I purchased a kit, and once I received the kit, it only took about 5 days at most for me to even receive the kit, which was great. It was very quick. And in the actual kit itself, it comes with a pamphlet with instructions. It comes with a tube that you actually have to spit into, and then there's a line in the tube where it tells you where you have to stop, and then there's a cap for it, and then you shake up the spit basically, and then they actually give you a little box to just ship everything in there, and you have to activate a code that they give you online. And then after you activate the code, that's how they have access to basically give you your results online. So, you know, I shipped that away. Normally it says it takes about, I believe, 6 to 8 weeks. It actually only took about 2.5 weeks for me to get my results, which I thought was very impressive. I wasn't expecting it to be that quick. But I was very pleased with, you know, the service and, you know, how quickly everything was. It was great. And so they sent me an email with my results. And before I tell you guys my results, I want to tell you what I suspected. So I thought I would be anywhere between 50% and 80% African. And I thought I would have maybe about 15% Native American of the Americas. And I thought I would have about maybe another 15 to 10% Iberian Peninsula, which is Spain and Portugal. And then the rest, I thought it would just be other little things that might not even be anything. I just didn't think much outside of those three. I thought I just kind of focused on what I knew from the ancestry. But without further ado, I'm going to share my results with all of you. So for Africa, and I'll put everything right here so you guys can follow along with me. For Africa, I got 63%, which I was pretty much right about, because I said between 50 and 80. I knew that would be the highest and most concentrated, of course. And from that, they actually give you a breakdown of what parts of Africa, which is really, really cool. I love that. And so 27% of the 63, I'm from Benin and Togo. 11% of that is Cameroon and Congo. 11% is from Senegal. 7% is the Ivory Coast. Now the trace regions are basically like a small amount of trace genetic ethnicity, and it might just be by chance and not actually part of your genetic makeup, but it's still interesting to know, because who knows what if there is a trace of that in your ancestry. So I'll give you the trace regions for the African part, which I have Africa, Southeastern Bantu, about 2%. Nigeria was 2%. Africa North was 1%. And Africa South Central hunter-gatherers was less than 1%. And then Mali, less than 1%. I had to look into to see what Africa North was composed of. So Africa North was Morocco, Western Sahara, Algeria, and Libya. And then the Africa South Central hunter-gatherers, it just says it's primarily located South Africa, Namibia, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing, I'm so sorry, Congo, Botswana. And then moving on, I also got 4% Native American, which I thought I would have higher, like I told you guys. This Native American meaning native of the Americas, just so you guys don't get confused that, oh, well, I thought Native American is only America. No, Native of the Americas, just to be clear. And then less than 1% Asia Central. Asia Central is composed of Afghanistan and those surrounding countries. So less than 1%, again, that's really nothing. And then the other majority of the genetic ancestry, DNA, so many names, but the other part is 30% Europe, and of that 30%, 11% is Great Britain. I was like, what? 11%? What? Now, my dad did tell me that his mother was from England, and I thought that was pretty cool and interesting. I just didn't think that would really come out, and if it did, I thought it would be so small that it wouldn't even count. So I was like, what, 11%? That's pretty big in comparison to the rest. And then 7% Italy and Greece. And then my trace regions were 6% Ireland, 5% Iberian Peninsula. So obviously Iberian Peninsula is Spain and Portugal, for those of you that don't know. And I thought that was going to be about 10 to 15%, so I had a lot less of that. So that was another interesting result there. And then less than 1% Finland, Northwest Russia. And lastly, the last trace region was 2% Middle East, and that's basically, you know, countries like Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and things like that, which makes sense. In migration, basically, me thinking about it this way, you know, the closer in your proximity to a specific country, the more likely you might have traces of that. But it's 2%, so it's very minor. Now, this was an awesome experience overall. I thought this was great to do. I've been wanting to do it for many years, actually, and I'm happy I finally did it. It almost makes you feel like, wow, I really know where I'm from, which is which is cool. It's really cool. And I feel like everyone should do it. It's an awesome thing to do, to really know where your ancestral history comes from. And then you kind of like want to visit there. Like, now I want to go to Africa. I want to go to the UK, but in Great Britain, see, I gotta do my geography. I don't know nothing, but I want to go to London, basically. London, England, to be exact, because Great Britain was, yeah. Anyways, scratch that. But yes, I do want to visit these countries now, because I'm like, hey, I'm from here, you know, my ancestry's from here, so it'll be interesting to see. But I do hope you guys enjoyed these results. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, feel free to comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe, because I will be dishing out videos very soon. Bye, you guys.